In the land of Uz, there lived a man of old, whose heart was pure and upright, as the story's told. He feared the Lord and turned away from every sin. With 7 sons and daughters 3, his joy was found within. The accuser came before the throne in the courts above, saying, Job only serves you for the riches and your love. Take away his cattle and the hedge around his life, and he will curse your holy name in the middle of his strife. The word was given, and the fire fell from the sky. The Sabeans took the oxen, and the servants started to die. A great wind from the desert struck the house where children stayed, and Job fell to the ground, but he was not yet afraid. Naked I came from my mother's womb, he cried, and naked I'll return to the earth where I will hide. The Lord gives and takes away, blessed be his name. In all of this, he didn't charge the Father with the blame. Then sores broke out upon his skin from head down to his toe. He sat within the ashes in the heavy weight of woe. His wife said, curse your God and die. Why hold your honor fast? But Job said, shall we take the good and not the bitter blast? 3 friends came from the distance, Eliphaz and the rest, to sit in 7 days of silence for the man who was oppressed. They saw his grief was very great, his spirit torn and thin, until Job opened up his mouth and let the cries begin. Let the day perish when I was born, he groaned in his despair. Why did I not give up the ghost while gasping for the air? For the thing I greatly feared has come upon my head, and I find no rest or quietness upon my weary bed. And Eliphaz the Temanite spoke with a heavy word, whoever perished being innocent, is that what you have heard? Remember now the Lord corrects the one who strays from light, so do not despise the discipline of the Master's holy might. But Job replied, my words are rash, because my grief is deep. The arrows of the Almighty make my spirit start to weep. I wish that God would crush me now and let his hand go free. What strength is left within my bones for what is meant to be? Bildad spoke of ancient paths and fathers of the past, saying God won't cast away the blameless at the last. If you were pure and upright, he would wake for you today. But Job asked, how can any man be right in God's own way? He shakes the earth out of its place, he seals up every star. Who can answer back to him, no matter who they are? Though I were perfect, I would not know my own soul's face. I am weary of my life, and I seek a hiding place. Zophar cried, you claim your doctrine's pure and you are clean, but God knows all the secrets that the mortal hasn't seen. If you stretch out your hands to him and put away your sin, then your life will be much brighter than the noon has ever been. Job answered with a bitter laugh, you think you are the wise, that wisdom surely dies with you beneath the summer skies. But I have understanding too, I'm not inferior to you. The hand of God has done all this, and every word is true. The cycle turned and arguments grew sharper than a blade, as they accused him of a secret debt he hadn't paid. Your wickedness is great. They said you've turned the poor away, but Job maintained his integrity through the darkness of the day. I know that my Redeemer lives. He shouted to the wind, and at the last he'll stand upon the earth where I have sinned. Though my skin be all destroyed, yet in my flesh I'll see the God who is my witness, and the one who set me free. Young Elihu then rose in heat when the older men were still. He spoke of God's great majesty and his sovereign holy will. Look up unto the heavens, see the clouds so high above. God is greater than the man in his justice and his love. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind's mighty roar. Who is this that darkens counsel at the threshold of my door? Gird up your loins like a man and answer what I ask. Where were you when I laid the earth and finished every task? Have you commanded morning light or walked the ocean floor? Can you bind the Pleiades or shut the sea's wide door? Does the hawk fly by your wisdom? Does the eagle mount on high? Will the one who faults the Almighty give a reason or a reply? Job put his hand upon his mouth and bowed into the dust. I have spoken of the things too great for me to trust. I had heard of you by hearing, but now my eye can see. I repent in dust and ashes for the words that came from me. The Lord rebuked the three friends for the things they spoke in pride, but he blessed the end of Job more than the start of all the tide. He gave him twice of all he lost, and years of peace and rest. The story of the patient man who passed the hardest test.